It was a cool, calm winter night. The time was 12:46 a.m., and John was laying down on his bed looking up at his ceiling, listening to his music playing from his computer. He was going like his regular night would until he heard a loud noise come from his parents' room. He was startled and jumped out of his bed. The noise sounded like a gunshot. John grabbed his pocket knife and quickly snuck out of his room and went into his parents' room and saw his mom shot in her left arm and his dad shot in the stomach. Suddenly, John felt something in the back of his head and passed out. John surely awoke, but he was tied up. He tried to wiggle out, but the rope was tied too tight. John looked to his left to see his mom and dad tied up next to him, both shot in the head.
Oh shit.
John looked to his right, saw his sister crying and also tied up, but not harmed. John then looked forward to see 4 white men wearing black jeans, black boots, black biker gloves, a white shirt, and a black vest. One of the men kneeled down to John and stared him in the eye.
My. You are handling the situation quite well. We've been tracking your family down for quite a while. Mainly you,
he said in a deep voice. John narrowed his eyes.
Oh, that's a reaction I was somewhat looking for, but before I continue this, there must be no witnesses.
The man kneeled down and snapped his fingers, and one of the other men pulled out a carving knife and walked to John's sister. John looked over and saw his sister bawling and screaming and looked over at John. The man put his hand over John's sister's mouth and slit her throat. John saw his sister struggling, trying to gasp for air. John looked back at the man kneeled down with no expression.
Wow, you're quite the careless one. Your family has been murdered while your sister's still struggling, and yet you show no emotion.
John gave a smirk, narrowing his eyes again. He surely began to laugh.
What's so funny?
The man questioned with a confused look. John replied in a calm tone.
Oh, nothing. Besides the fact that I would have killed them myself, but I would have been more creative.
Man, you're all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah, I know, but now I think it's your turn to get fucked up.
What?
John spread his arms out, breaking the rope, and kneed the old man in the chin, breaking his jaw. The man fell over, grabbing his jaw. John took his pocket knife and stabbed one man in the stomach and sliced up to the man's chest. The man fell over in shock as he watched his intestines spill out and pool of blood. The other 3 men stared in shock. John turned around and looked at the man who slit his sister's throat, the one with the carving knife.
You.
John dashed at the man with the carving knife and stabbed him in the throat and ripped the knife out of the man's throat, and the man fell on his knees, grasping his throat. John gave the man a smile.
This is Sparta!
John yells as he kicked the man in the face and knocked him over. The other man ran at John and tried to grab him, but John ducked and thrust his bow into the man's stomach, causing the man to cough up blood. John quickly turned around and slitted both of the man's ankles. The man fell forward into John's knife and was stabbed in the head. John kicked the man to the side as he pulled the knife back. John walked up to the previously killed man and took the carving knife and faced toward the man with the broken jaw. John narrowed his eyes as he walked toward the last surviving man. The biker kept scooting back and back until he was up against the wall. The biker's eyes widened as John kneeled down.
Now let me tell you something.
The man raised his left hand and pushed John back, but John stabbed his hand into the wall and with his pocket knife. The man yelled as he went to pull out the knife, but with his other hand. But John grabbed the other hand and stabbed it to the wall with the carving knife. The man yelled even more.
God, you're annoying. Here, let me fix that,
he said with a sinister tone. John grabbed the man's bottom jaw and ripped it off. John smiled as the blood came gushing out.
Here, let's match your friends.
John pulled the carving knife out of the wall, slit both of the man's ankles. The man began to flutter his eyes, about to pass out.
No, you're not going to sleep now,
John said as he slapped the man's face. John stabbed the man's throat and ripped out his voice box.
Oh, torture, a beautiful thing.
John's smile widened as he began to laugh sinisterly. John politely slid the carving knife from the man's chest down to his stomach. John pushed the knife into the man's stomach until he couldn't see the blade. The man's eyes widened again and slowly began to shut as John slit all the way up to the man's throat.
Oh, what a pleasure that was. Now time for the finishing touch.
John ripped open the man's torso where blood was gushing out. John put his hands in the blood. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door.
Police, we're here for a noise complaint. Give me a minute.
John smiled.